Picture this. You wake up this morning, make your coffee, and check your mail. There's an official letter from the Transport Authority. Your heart sinks as you read the words, "Your driving license is under review and could be canceled within weeks." This isn't a nightmare. This is happening right now to thousands of senior drivers across Australia. Welcome back to Pension Path AUS. If you're a senior driver or know someone who is, you need to watch this entire video. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because this information could save your license and your independence. Let me tell you what's really happening across Australia right now. Transport departments in multiple states have launched the most aggressive license review program in decades. They're targeting senior drivers, and the numbers are staggering. In New South Wales alone, over 15,000 seniors received notices last month. Victoria isn't far behind with 12,000 letters sent out. Queensland, South Australia, and Western Australia are all following the same pattern. Here's what makes this so serious. These aren't just warnings. These are mandatory medical assessment notices. If you don't respond within the deadline, your license gets automatically suspended. No hearing, no appeal, just gone. And here's the part that nobody's talking about. The pass rate for these assessments is shockingly low. Almost 40% of seniors who take these tests lose their licenses immediately. So why is this happening now? The government claims it's about road safety. They point to statistics showing that drivers over 75 have higher accident rates per kilometer driven. But here's what they're not telling you. The vast majority of senior drivers are safe, responsible, and have decades of experience. This blanket approach is punishing everyone for the mistakes of a few. Let me break down exactly what these assessments involve. First, there's the medical examination. Your doctor has to fill out a detailed form about your physical and mental health. They check your vision, your reaction time, your cognitive function, and any medications you're taking. But here's the problem. Many doctors are being overly cautious because they don't want liability. They're failing seniors who are perfectly capable of driving safely. Then comes the practical driving test. This isn't like the test you took when you were 17. This is far more intensive. You're driving with an assessor who's looking for any small mistake. They check your mirror usage, your speed control, your ability to merge, your parking skills, everything. And unlike a regular test where you might get a few minor errors, these assessments have almost zero tolerance. The cost is another massive issue. These medical assessments aren't free. You're looking at anywhere from $150 to $400 depending on where you live and which doctor you see. The practical driving test costs another $100 to $200. And if you fail, you have to pay again to retake it. For seniors on fixed incomes, this is a significant financial burden. Now let's talk about what happens if you lose your license. The impact is devastating. Suddenly, you can't drive to the grocery store, to your doctor's appointments, to visit your grandchildren, or to your community activities. Your independence disappears overnight. Studies show that seniors who lose their licenses experience increased depression, social isolation, and declining health. In rural areas where public transport barely exists, it's even worse. But here's what you need to know. You have rights, and there are ways to fight this. First, if you receive a notice, don't ignore it. The deadline is usually 28 days, and if you miss it, your license is gone. Second, prepare for your medical assessment. Make a list of all your medications, any health conditions, and be honest, but also confident about your abilities. Third, book your assessment with a doctor who understands senior drivers, not one who's going to fail you automatically. For the practical test, consider taking a refresher course. Many driving schools now offer specific programs for seniors preparing for license reviews. These courses teach you exactly what the assessors are looking for. They cost money, but they dramatically increase your pass rate. Some seniors have told me these courses made the difference between keeping and losing their licenses. There's also something called a conditional license. If you fail the full assessment, you might still qualify for a restricted license. This could limit you to driving only during daylight hours, only within a certain radius of your home, or only for specific purposes like medical appointments. It's not perfect, but it's better than losing your license completely. Here's another option that many seniors don't know about. You can request an independent review if you believe your assessment was unfair. Each state has an appeals process, though they don't advertise it widely. You usually have 14 days to lodge an appeal after receiving your results. Get documentation from your doctor supporting your ability to drive safely. Gather character references from family and friends. Build a strong case. Let me share a real story. Margaret from Brisbane is 79 years old. She's been driving for 60 years without a single accident. She received one of these notices and went for her assessment. The doctor failed her because she's on medication for high blood pressure, even though it doesn't affect her driving at all. Margaret appealed, got a second medical opinion, and eventually won her case. But it took 3 months and cost her over $1,000. She couldn't drive during that entire time. Now, if you're watching this and thinking this won't affect you, think again. The age threshold keeps dropping. It started at 85, then moved to 80, now it's 75 in most states. Some politicians are pushing for mandatory testing at 70 or even 65. This could affect you sooner than you think. What can you do right now to protect yourself? First, get a voluntary medical checkup before you receive any official notice. This gives you time to address any issues. If your vision isn't perfect, get new glasses. If your reaction time is slow, work on exercises to improve it. Second, consider taking a defensive driving course. These not only improve your skills, but also show authorities you're proactive about safety. Third, keep your license details updated. Make sure your address is current, so you don't miss any important notices. There's also a bigger conversation we need to have as a society. Public transport in Australia is inadequate, especially in regional areas. Instead of taking licenses away from capable seniors, why aren't we investing in better alternatives? Why aren't we creating more accessible transport options? Why aren't we building communities where people don't need cars to maintain their independence? These mass cancellations are happening because the government hasn't provided real solutions. Some seniors are organizing and fighting back. Community groups are forming to advocate for fairer testing procedures. They're pushing for individualized assessments instead of blanket age-based testing. They're demanding better public transport options. If you're affected by this, consider joining one of these groups. There's strength in numbers, and change only happens when people speak up. Here's my final advice. Stay informed, stay prepared, and don't let fear control you. If you're a safe driver, you have every right to keep your license. Get your medical checkups, practice your driving skills, and know your rights. If you do receive a notice, take it seriously, but don't panic. Follow the process, prepare thoroughly, and fight for your independence if necessary. This isn't just about driving. This is about dignity, freedom, and the right to live your life on your own terms. You've earned that right through decades of responsible driving. Don't let an unjust system take it away without a fight. If this video helped you understand what's happening and how to protect yourself, smash that subscribe button right now. Hit the bell icon so you get notified when we release more important information for seniors. Share this video with every senior driver you know because they need to see this. Drop a comment below and tell me your experience with license reviews. Have you received a notice? Did you pass or fail your assessment? Your story could help others. Thanks for watching, and remember, knowledge is power. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.